Welcome, race fans. SpeedZoneTV here tonight for race number 11 on the 12 race season. Race 2, round 2 of the playoffs are kicking off. Get a little bit of a technical glitch there as, game crashed down just before we were about to go live. Exciting times here. Let's roll through some of the info. We're at this 2.5 mile super speedway tonight. Beautiful weather, no clouds in the sky. I'm going to be your host, Robert Warrens, up in the booth for the Car to Sell 50 at Daytona. Take a quick look at our grid right now. On the pole, last week's winner, the Tire King, Robert Kahn in that 21 machine. Tolleson on the outside pole, right out in third. Burke fourth, Cookhausen fifth. Henry 6th, Dennis Warren's back in the field tonight, 7th, Bridgman 8th, Zapata 9th, Shriver 10th, Oaks 11th, Klotz 12th, Hoddle 13th, Baker 14th. And that's all we got in the field. Car missed the grid, so we only got 14 cars in the field tonight. It's going to be interesting here with this 50-lap battle, as these guys have about 16 laps of fuel in the tank, so we should be able to see some green flag stops as we're going through a little bit later on. We'll get to know some of these playoff drivers and where they're stacking up. We're missing one driver tonight. I think it's Bud Shears, not in the field. Not sure what's going on there, but he was currently second place in the points. So tough break for him. But really, the playoffs were back to life at the World Center of Racing here. We're getting ready to go. High banks, big runs, bold moves, and the constant threat of disaster. Even though it's a small field, for 50 laps, these 8 playoff drivers are going to be duking it out. Well, 7, and only a few are going to survive the fight for the championship here. Pace car's in. Green is out. Good start by both drivers on the pole. Olson getting a little bit of a run on the outside. Down the backstretch, the outside line is moving. That's Burke in behind Olson. It's going to be interesting to see with the smaller field here tonight if drivers are able to settle in. Shriver in that 14 machine drops to the bottom side. New paint for him. Going to be a very patient waiting game. Yeah, we're picked up a few drivers. We haven't seen that 41 machine of Klotz in the field before. Maybe sporadically through the season, but not too consistent anyhow. 33 machines setting the pace here. Drivers are hugging the bottom line. There's not too many cars, only 3 cars on the outside as they're looking to maybe side draft a little bit, wiggling down the backstretch. A blink from the 94, getting away. Two clean laps so far. It's looking like this might be a tame race. Going to be very interesting to see if pit cycle execution will matter tonight. Perfect pit entry is going to be critical here. Maintaining track position, it's unlikely you're going to see anyone take tires. Tires aren't so critical, so that 21 machine, the Tire King of Robert Kahn, last week's winner at Iowa Speedway, currently our leader in the playoffs. He's just really got to show up tonight. He doesn't got to try too hard. But there's always going to be some hungry hippos looking to duke it out. New leader is that 41 machine. Olson gets shuffled back, so we got Plots in the lead. Warnes, Oaks, and Zapata in fourth. Olson falls back to fifth. Looks like this car's got an interesting, draft. Auto jumping up at the outside behind Warnes as they come out of turn 4. Drivers are going to be managing their water temperature, making sure that car doesn't get too hot. Take a look at the back of the field here. We got 5 machine of Cookhausen. You can see his perspective, big checkups down the backstretch. He does a good job of just managing that gap there. These guys are definitely in fuel save mode. One of the things that you do have to manage is that you don't want to let that gap get too far. You can see Cookhausen's about 2/10 back, but it's looking like these cars have a lot of potential for a draft, and that's going to be very important when it comes time to checking who your dance partner is and if they're willing to dance with you. You know, it takes 2 to dance, sometimes 3 or 4 in a super speedway situation, but the draft is really king, and drivers can go, from the back to the front in a single lap, and then to the back again in that same lap just right. So it's really going to be about lane choice and pushing and partnering up with that right person. And right now, I'd say that these drivers are really embracing a 50-lap sprint mentality. We're not seeing a lot of crazy moves so far as they come down the front stretch into turn 1. 41, our leader, with Oak in behind. Zapata in third spot there. Orange drops to the bottom, and Pottle and Kahn working together. Two by two on lap 7 of 50, almost about halfway through the fuel run. But it might be a little bit later on. These guys are conserving a little bit of fuel, but I would imagine the front 2 are not. They're pushing hard. You can see that Kahn is on the bumper of the 5 machine of Pottle. But that outside line just isn't able to mount to full charge just yet. All drivers in the 12 cars that are now in the field. It looks like 87 of Baker and 48 of Bridgman had mechanical issues and weren't able to start the race. Oh, turning! And not sure what happened there. We're going to be using our crazy cameras to figure out what happened. That's crazy. That's going to be our first caution of the night. I wasn't expecting that from these guys just yet. If we can find out what happened with our SpeedZoneTV instant replay here. Going to be looking at the 30 here of Zapata. Like there's a checkup, and 38's not able to react quick enough. Gets into the Oak machine. Tolson tags Zapata, hooks him up to the wall, gets Pottle, gets Kahn. See that the 33 machine is left front is torn up and dangling. Cookhausen, smart driving in that 5 machine, is just able to get through. 90 of Warrens gets through. Tough break for these guys, but let's just kind of watch one more time. Back this up here. We're going to let it go at full speed and just kind of see what happens. Hold on. Did Oaks blow up? Go ahead and we're going to hop in 20 call. Where'd a motor pop? You see, he blew up there. Not managing his temperatures. That's really the cause for the caution there. Crazy. Go back to live action here. 20 machine is in the pits. A lot of cars are damaged. Everyone coming down pit lane now. We're going to give a shout out to our sponsors while these guys come in, top up for fuel.
Bad credit? No problem. We finance everyone. Plus, save up to 30% when you buy through our website. And we got the deal of the century. Send a friend our way, and if they buy a car, you get up to $300 cash straight to your wallet. It's summer. It's your time, and you deserve to drive the car of your dreams. Come on down, and we'll put it all together for you. We want you out of that old ride and into something fresh. And that something is here at Car to Sell.
Looks like we have a few drivers. I'm not sure if they're still on the pits. Try to get a better angle of it here, but we have Khan. It looks like he might have had to tow. He is in the playoffs. It should not hurt him as far as advancing, but you can see just the amount of damage on that car. Closer in there for that 21 machine. Not what you want to see. It is definitely not an open wheel modified. He's in pits as well as 14 machine and the 20 machine. Back up front here, the 41 does get off pit lane first. Pottles and Warrens down pit lane. Henry again down pit lane as well. Likely fixing more damage. We'll see if we get a bird eye view of what's going on down in pit lane here. Misses the stall. Driver frustration right there, bolting on some rubber. Henry grabbing tires as well. Off battle. Lights are off the pace car now. Going down the backstretch. We'll take a quick look at our playoff drivers. On current leader after the win last week at Iowa. Shearer in second, not in the field tonight. Zapata in third. Cookhausen fourth. Fox not in the field tonight in fifth. Tolleson in sixth. Rideout in seventh. And Henry in eighth. Very, very interesting. It looks like Shears and Fox will definitely not be able to advance. So it's going to be a battle between some of these other drivers to see, how they play out. But guys getting goose eggs for points, going to definitely tighten up that points battle for who advances. So 4 drivers will advance into the final round. That will be next week at Michigan. We'll be doing 70 laps under the afternoon sun to crown Season 5's champion for Lightning Esports. Weren't really thinking that the big one was going to happen, but we got it really early on before lap 10. Playoff dreams can get wiped out instantly if chaos hits, and it's going to reshape the entire points now with Khan shuffled back, but it looks like he's back on the track. Get a camera on him. Yeah, he's rejoined. It's crazy to think normally the race laps are sub 50 seconds. When we're under caution here, it's about 2 minutes a lap. There's a lot of time to think, a lot of reflection for these drivers. Oaks is back on the track as well. Driver also rejoining the field. Didn't lose any cars, so that's good, but man, that's tough to happen early on. That's going to shuffle the pit strategy way out. Likely see drivers come in, I guess would be in around lap 26 to 28, depending on how it all works. Getting ready to go green. Lap 13. That's really going to change the landscape for some of these drivers taking damage. '41 gets a good start. That's a 76. A ride out. Mr. Consistency, the fireman on the outside. Cookhausen falling back a little bit. Rideout's gonna want to drop to the bottom side. Kind of let this race come to him. '94 car also not in the playoffs, but just racing for the win. Missing his teammate tonight. Like drivers are going to be settled down after that one. Unfortunate there. I mean, that really wasn't, it's the carnage from hard racing. More so that, not managing temperature. So a tough break for that 20 machine and those involved in that accident. Definitely going to change the landscape of this race going forward. Plans for season number 6 are underway. Gonna want to get in on some of the action, seeing the caliber of driving, and this ARCA car has really kind of mixed it up as far as like the drafting package, the tire wear, and then also the capability of the car itself for it to be able to handle. Like we got Robert Kahn on the outside, going to make a run. He said it last week in his interview. He's like, yeah, you know, something always happens to me. And sure enough, he was caught up in that mess. Really no opportunity to avoid. We can scroll around and see what the camera can find as far as paint. This explains a lot when the application reset itself there. It's taking away some of our camera views. Single file by everyone. Warren's tucks down in the 5th spot. In front of Henry, making him 4th on the board because Oaks is 2 laps down. It's gonna be hard to see what drivers are gonna do now as they anticipate a different strategy that could come from it. I wonder if we're gonna see some drivers break off and do their own thing. You know, we get a group of 3 or 4 drivers and they work together. They could definitely separate themselves from the pack once we start hitting that pit window. On letting the field go by. Dropping further back, about 7th in the field now. Oaks is the leader of the pack. However, he is sitting 1 lap down. Beautiful lights at Daytona International. This place allows these quality paints to just shine. Gonna want to click the gearbox in the bottom right hand side of the screen. SpeedZoneTV offering you the best quality iRacing has to offer for your viewing pleasure. lot more patience being shown by these drivers. Even with them coming in, you know, what I anticipate the next 3 to 4 laps is that there's not going to be enough fuel in the tank for someone to make it the entire way. So I suspect we're going to have to take a full tank and then come in for a splash and go. Getting racy again, lap 24, almost halfway in the race. Blink from the 94 car again. Going down the front stretch, everyone's single file as far as I can see. I can only imagine we're not too far away from that pit opportunity. A lot of patient driving after our carnage on lap 8. After the conclusion of the night, they're going to be one step closer to a championship. And, you know, I really respect how we've settled in to just kind of pacing out. I don't think racing's going to be done any which way, but we've got a stack of cars coming in the pit lane now. Ooh, Henry around. Not going to be good for him. That's going to put it into a 3-car draft. On Zapata Auto. Not sure what happened to Henry there. Little dance though. Do a little backup here. SpeedZoneTV instant replay. Take a look at what happened with that 10 car. Woo! Locked it up right in front of everyone. Spicy times, but SpeedZoneTV bringing you the action there. We've got a group of cars ready to pit. On Zapata and Podle all working together. Take a look at the last lap times. Still on their out lap. Don't want to be a solo car pitting. That's Henry there. He might have got a tag with his speed and penalty. group is now coming in the pits there. That's Klotz, Olesen, and Cookhausen. Horns, Rideout, and Burke still on the track. Burke is about a second off. Not sure what happened to Burke there. Klotz gets away. Horns and Rideout head in with Burke. Likely see a fuel only stop. All three drivers relatively good pace. You can see the other drivers coming out of turn 4. They're gonna pass everyone. These guys aren't gonna get up to speed quick enough. Our leader is going to be that 21 machine of Khan, followed by 38 of Zapata, the 05 of Poddle. The 5 machine here has suffered some kind of penalty. Now a lap down in the race. In behind our leaders, about 4 seconds, is this group of cars. Also going to pick up that 41 machine of Klotz. We'll watch our lap times after the next time around. I would imagine that 5 cars should be faster than 3, but we're gonna need a lap or 2 before this settles out. All right, it looks like, looking at that lap times there, these guys are on the struggle bus. They were 4 seconds. They've fallen off to 5 seconds. Go ahead, and when they cross the line this time, take a look. That time around, they were about even. The lap before, they had lost a second, so these guys are going to have to stay in a tight line if they're going to be able to do anything. With our lead pack now. $17 laps to go when they cross the line. Zapata drops out of the draft. Likely heating up, being smart. Not sure if we can see temperature gauges. Unfortunately, no. On board the 5 machine of Poddle. pack in behind did gain a second on these front three. Managing the gap there, very important. 3.5, that second pack is gaining. Go ahead and pop in the 33 machine of Tolleson. Just about a half second gained from that last lap. Horns and Rideout still working together. Horns tight on the bumper of the fireman, Mr. Consistency, Mike Rideout, who needs a strong finish tonight to secure a spot in the playoffs. Another 4/10 ticked off. They should be fast enough to catch them before the next pit cycle, which will definitely make the end of the race very interesting. Now, 90 Machine, last year's champion, or last season's champion, season number 4, came out of nowhere and clinched it. Go ahead and just take a look at the front pack again. 2.6 seconds of a gap. It's going to close in really fast once they start to get in within that second mark. Once again, here's our playoff drivers. Con won last week, the Tire King at Iowa Speedway gets it done. Bud Shearer not in the field tonight. Zapata in that pack in second place, currently third place in points. Cookhausen suffered a penalty, sitting 11th right now. That's not going to be too good for his points battle. Jesse Fox not in the field tonight, sitting in 5th in points. Tolleson, he's currently 7th, which would be, I think that's the 4th playoff contender. So that should give him enough points to advance there. Henry is in the 5th spot. I'm not sure if that's going to help. We need a caution to come out for him to square up, get his lap back, and start being back in this fight. Two seconds now is the gap for that second pack. You can see them just off in the distance of the camera with 11 laps to go. These drivers do not have enough fuel, so we're coming up to that next pit window where pit execution, entry into pit lane, entry into your pit box, not sliding the car, is going to be super critical. We saw Henry in that first cycle there lose it all. Under 2 seconds, ride out, and that lead pack is coming down, and they're all following Tolleson, trying to shuffle. Oh, wow. Got to stay to the right down pit lane. Looks like everyone's single file. Nice clean entries of all of the boxes. Everyone is away. Warren's on hold. He's going to be in trouble. Might have got a speeding penalty on in the hunt there. Burke is our leader with Henry and Oaks both a lap down. Wasn't watching their lap times. 48 seconds. When they were doing their fast times, those two packs were high 47, so not quite where Burke needs to be for speed. Here's the battle. 25 seconds back. Klotz, Zapata, Poddle, Olson, Kahn. And I believe that's Shriver on the tail. Just like that, we saw those two packs come together, and now we've got a new race. As we wind down to the final 8 laps, this is going to start to set the stage for who advances into the final round of the Lightning Esports Season 5 playoffs at Michigan Speedway next week. It's a quiet one out here tonight after that first caution. Everyone's been somewhat tame. Warren's back on the track. He's going to let this pack of cars go. Probably fall in behind. Bottle drifts up a little bit. I think she wanted to say hello. Burke had to come down pit lane. You can see that off-pit strategy there. They're 17 seconds behind this pack. 7 laps to go. All the marbles are going to be on the line. We're likely going to see some drivers pushing very hard soon. Making their way around the 14 machine of Shriver now. Otto on the outside with Kahn. Orange jumps up behind. We got Klotz, Zapata, and Tolleson on the bottom side. Driver also helping out on the high side. You've seen the big runs that these cars can get. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it get dicey. Nobody's just going to want to let a Daytona race slip away from them. Tires aren't the strategy here. It's your dance partner. Have to be paired up with that right person. Have a shot at the podium. Or even at a win. Crossing the line once again. 3 laps to go. Once we see that white flag, race will become official. These drivers, they might just be content with, settling it out here. On doing a good job of pushing that 5 machine to Pottle. Keeping that 5 machine out front for the car to sell 50 lap at Daytona. 1 caution on the night, lap 8. 20 machine got a little hot, blew the motor, stacked up the field. We've been green ever since. Wondering if that 33 gonna get a little bit hungry. He could get the help from that 90 machine of Warren's. On board with the 33 right now, and that awesome starred helmet. Lots jumping in the outside. Move up the high side. Race is official. Lots gives Otto a little bump. Nobody wants to get out of the high side. Klotz on the high side. Otto dropped to the bottom. Woo, Tolson tagging. I don't know who's going to make it through. That's Shriver. Cars everywhere. Khan might limp to be the winner. What a crazy way to win a race at Daytona International Speedway. Back-to-back race wins for that 21 machine. Last week at Iowa, this week at Daytona International Speedway. We should go ahead and just take a look at what happened here. Zapata grabs second, Tolleson third. Otto not able to cross the line now. Klotz. Go ahead and see what we can see from our SpeedZoneTV instant replay here. We're going to replay this last crazy bit of stuff that was going on. I don't even know what to make of it. Move up a little bit further here. Oh, right there. We'll back it up one more time. What you're going to want to do here is that the 21, Robert Kahn's got a great run. He's crossing down to get below the 33. And right here, little tag on the 33's bumper. High speed racing, high speed stakes right there. And Klotz is around. Warren's tags Zapata. Zapata eats the wall. Hard lick. Warren's gets shot up around. But it's that 21 machine getting away from the carnage. I almost swear that 38 car is a ballerina with all those pirouettes. 41 rolling backwards on the Speedway. Try to get rolling. And, that's pretty much it. Olesen trying to get going as quick as possible. That 21 machine's gone. Wow. Lap car is coming by. And that's going to be our SpeedZoneTV instant replay of that last lap. Crazy times there. Big burnout for that 21 machine. Robert Kahn was fearful of how this night would go out for him, but here he is. Burning it down. Go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll be back to see if we're going to be able to have some driver interviews.
Bad credit? No problem. We finance everyone. Plus, save up to 30% when you buy through our website. And we got the deal of the century. Send a friend our way, and if they buy a car, you get up to $300 cash straight to your wallet. It's summer. It's your time, and you deserve to drive the car of your dreams. Come on down, and we'll put it all together for you. We want you out of that old ride and into something fresh. And that something is here at Car to Sell. Bad credit? No problem. We finance everyone. Plus, save up to 30% when you buy through our website. And we got the deal of the century. Send a friend our way, and if they buy a car, you get up to $300 cash straight to your wallet. It's summer. It's your time, and you deserve to drive the car of your dreams. Come on down, and we'll put it all together for you. We want you out of that old ride and into something fresh. And that something is here at Car to Sell. Bad credit? No problem. We finance everyone. Plus, save up to 30% when you buy through our website. And we got the deal of the century. Send a friend our way, and if they buy a car, you get up to $300 cash straight to your wallet. It's summer. It's your time, and you deserve to drive the car of your dreams. Come on down, and we'll put it all together for you. We want you out of that old ride and into something fresh. And that something is here at Car to Sell.
Drivers just getting through the tech shed now. Not sure if we're going to be seeing any of them coming out. Replaying the last 2 laps here. Otto had led the last few. And then all of a sudden, carnage ensued here. Thought sliding up the track to get a run on the outside with Zapata. The cars shuffle up there. Pottle and Kahn shuffle. This is the last lap. Going down into turn 1. Everyone's hungry for that Daytona International win. Lots Tolleson on the outside. Little bobble there. And this is the incident that starts it all here. Just tight racing. The 33 comes down a little bit. And it's hard because they're driving at such high speeds that, you know, the 21 and 33, it's just a micro adjustment between those two that really just causes all the carnage. But, you know, there's not too much you can do. The 21 machine does get away and is able to capitalize on the night. Watch that one more time. Carnage everywhere. Ballerina Javier Zapata whirling around like it just don't matter. And that's you know, that's how the race is going to end. Starts on the pole, finishes on the pole. That 21 machine survives the carnage there. That's off to Robert Kahn, our race winner tonight. Go take a look at the rest of the field, how they stacked up. Kahn went in, Zapata second, Tolson third, Burke fourth, Rideout fifth, Pottle sixth, Bott seventh, Henry eighth, Warren's ninth, Cookhausen suffering a pit penalty in 10th, Shriver 11th, Oaks 12th, and Baker and Bridgman DNF'd. Or sorry, DNS'd. You know, hats off. Very interesting night as we had that race accident earlier on. And then after that, we saw some green flag stops, and then could really only be one winner. And we saw the 05 machine of Pottle lead about last, I want to say, almost 10 laps or so, and being pushed by that 21 machine. But, you know, just the field stacking up in behind and tight racing with everyone wanting to win. That's really just going to be how it is. You know, last lap, no friends, no family on a racetrack, unfortunately. But that's going to allow the 21 machine to grab the win tonight. Khan's going to be our winner. He's going to advance into the final championship night. And going to be a doozy. So next week, you're going to want to tune in 7:45 EST for the battle at Michigan Speedway for the 70 laps in the afternoon sun. I don't know if it's going to be hot in the afternoon in Michigan, but it's going to be something you're going to want to turn into. You know, Khan did a great job tonight, so Michigan's likely going to be one of those good tracks for him as well. Burning the tires down. Can't get a good camera on him. But there won't be any driver interviews tonight. Make sure you put in a like and subscribe on the channel. Like the broadcast. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back next Sunday for the championship night. We're going to crown a champion. Monday night, we'll be back live again for Wagner's Welding Super Speedway Series. And then live again on Wednesday night for their Wagner's Welding Truck Series. And then Sunday, we'll be crowning a champion. So tons of events for you to watch in at SpeedZoneTV. You can always be a part of the show. Pop off in the chat. Tell your friends, families, cousins, uncles, dogs, and their pets to come on in and hang out with us. It's going to be our broadcast for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to SpeedZoneTV. I'm your host, Robert Warrens. Special shout out to Car to Sell for sponsoring the 50 laps at Daytona International Speedway, and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Happy Sunday, everyone. We'll be talking to you again soon.